The latest pullout in UFC history, literally seconds before the main event was supposed to start, one of the fighters in the main event, Maycee Barber, was medically unfit to walk out to the octagon. Literally seconds. We're wondering what happened to her. What could cause Maycee Barber to not be able to fight that late into the card? And it was reported by Hunter Campbell and Erin Blanchfield, who was her opponent, that Barber was seizuring backstage. And as the commentators were saying, Barber's had medical issues even after her last fight. She went to the hospital and she was in the hospital for over a week. She had infections. She missed weight for this fight. She looked physically awful on the scales. And to be honest, she did get breast implants before this fight. That's gonna increase her weight, which is gonna make her already difficult weight cut even more difficult. Barber already had a hard weight cut before, and other fighters have done this before. It does affect the weight cut, as Paige Van Zandt, for an example. Obviously, she got him too, and she moved up to flyweight afterward, right? She used to fight a strawweight, then she moved up to flyweight after that. And when Joanna got him, Zhang Weili was saying that she was concerned that Joanna wasn't going to be able to make weight after her augmentation. Could that have led to her missing weight, and then that led to the seizures because the weight cut was so difficult? It's possible. I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to say that's what happened, but from my bro science, it seems possible. But man, she looked horrible at the weigh-ins. Worse than in any other fight. And I don't know if that's the reason for the seizures. I don't know if she just cut way too much weight, if there's any kind of correlation there. I'm not a doctor, so maybe there's an expert that understands that better, or it was something completely different. But seizures are no joke. I hope she heals from this. Hope she has a speedy recovery, because that could be career ending and even impact her health for her future. And before the fight, Erin Blanchfield said she didn't know if Maycee Barber will make it to the octagon. She said it because Barber has pulled out of fights before, and Erin Blanchfield had a few words about this, and she was not happy. This is what Blanchfield says, quote, "It was already 6 minutes. I thought I was going to be told, okay, it's time to go. Then Hunter comes in and tells me what happened. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I feel like I'm still in pretty much disbelief right now. I feel like I was in disbelief yesterday when she missed weight, because we knew about this fight since January. You could have been 50 pounds overweight and still missed weight. So she missed weight, then she gets to Saturday, she gets to the locker room. I'm fully ready to go. She's supposed to be ready to go. Supposedly now, she has all these health issues. I think it's pretty crazy. I think it's pretty unprofessional. I wouldn't want to fight her again. We're supposed to be top 5 in the world, be professional, be the best in the world. So yeah, that was concerning. I don't know. She needs to look at another division. She needs to fix her life. She just needs to fix herself. I think she's a complete mess in every aspect of her entire life. Sheesh, man. This fight was possibly a title eliminator fight. Valentina knows that. She wants to come watch her future competition. Oh yeah, Valentina was there in attendance. I was ready to really put on a show tonight. It definitely leaves me in a little bit of a weird place. I know there are other girls in the top 5 that I could fight. I guess we'll just have to go back and reassess." Unquote. Well, to say Erin Blanchfield's upset is to say it kind of mildly. Like, she's saying Barber's entire life is a mess. Like, she needs to get everything together. That's pretty harsh. I mean, she definitely needs to move up a division, for sure, if she wants to continue to fight, but that's going to be up to her. And I hope if she does fight again, it at least will be at bantamweight, which she's going to be very small for that division, but the fighters there are not as good, so I think she can still make it work. But what about Erin Blanchfield, who went through her training camp, made the weight, was ready to walk out to the octagon? She also needs a win. She's coming off a loss against Menin Fior, so hopefully she wins something more than just show money, because she was ready to walk out there and fight. Potentially they can do Blanchfield versus another contender, as Barber should take time away from fighting and training and allow herself to rest and just think this whole fighting thing over, you know? Because if fighting, cutting weight, training, if any of this stuff is causing her seizures, either she has to move up weight, go to bantamweight, or retire. Is it worth it to go in there and fight when you're having seizures, right? Wild, man. But again, Barber should probably go up to bantamweight or maybe retire if she's not physically able to fight without causing her severe health problems. So I think Blanchfield should get like a win bonus at least, if not an official win. Technically, they didn't fight, so I guess you can't give her an actual win, but give her a win bonus. Other than that, the card wasn't really that great. I guarantee most people did not watch the card. And funny enough, a lot of people, as did I, were thinking that Mateusz Gamrot versus Ludwig Klein should have been the main event all along, as they were the 2 best fighters on the entire card. Mateusz Gamrot is the biggest name on the card as well, and it looks like they were actually the main event. So Ludwig Klein technically, in a way, had his first main event in his entire career, although it was 3 rounds. And that would have made Billy Ray Goff versus Ramiz Brahimaj the co-main event. So Gamrot had a usual Gamrot performance. I was confident he was going to win the fight. I think Klein is still a very good fighter, but people sleep on Gamrot a lot. He's not the best in the world or anything like that, but he's a solid like top 10 fighter and he's probably going to be top 10 his entire career. The best performances were from Brahimaj and Dustin Jacoby. I thought Billy Ray Goff was going to beat Brahimaj. He kept shooting takedowns against a submission artist. Brahimaj's never won by a decision before. He's very strong, he's very technical with his submissions, and he saw that with the high elbow guillotine. He went from ninja choke to high elbow guillotine and choked Goff to sleep. First round submission. He knocked out Mickey Gall, and now he submitted Billy Ray Goff. And what about that post-fight interview? Talking about how he was going to retire 2 years ago after his neck injury, but he's hit a new level and taking it all in, living in the moment when he's in the octagon, and you could see it in his performances. Very happy for Brahimaj, man. And you give the chaleche to Daniel Cormier, or the Albanian hat, and people started calling DC Pinhead. I'm very happy for Brahimaj. There's not a lot of like great Albanian fighters in the UFC. There's a few that's ever fought there, and it's just great to see them win, man. And then the other great performance was Dustin Jacoby, absolutely destroying Bruno Lopez. His last 4 wins have all been knockouts, and there's something about Dustin Jacoby that you just want him to win, man. He has a fun fighting style, willing to fight anybody, and goes for the knockout. He's also a good kickboxer. I don't know if his ties to Alex Pereira, fighting him in kickboxing, is a big reason why people respect Dustin Jacoby so much compared to other fighters who are at his level. But whatever it is, man, it's almost like Gerald Mearshart in a way. It always feels good when GM3 wins. It's kind of similar with Dustin Jacoby too. Excellent performance from him, man. Caitlin Vieira versus Maycee Barber and Zachary Reese versus Dushko Todorovic were not great fights at all. The Vieira and Chiasson fight was very low skill. Like, you look at even the Gamrot fight, although it wasn't exciting, the skill difference was so vast. Every fighter on the main card were so much better than Vieira and Chiasson. Other than that one takedown or like takedown feint from Todorovic, that move was very not technical, as DC really tried to not say. Even DC was like, what is that? The guy like reached down to the leg and almost stumbled forward and stuff. It looked like something Dricus would actually make work. But Todorovic doesn't understand the Dricus arts of just making up your own style and throwing anything out there and it just works for you. He doesn't have that plot armor. Like, I could see Dricus actually making that work somehow. Jordan Levitt also had a good submission as well. Hit him with a very good anaconda choke. Belai Oki and Michael Aswell was also a very good fight. Although Aswell moved up a division and there was some good striking exchanges in that fight. Also, Rayan Dos Santos versus Ellis Ardeline surprisingly was an exciting fight, although not highly technical, but it was a good banger. Filo Nascimento was also a good fight. Nascimento almost got submitted in the first round. And he's also a very good submission artist. He had a very good submission against Carlos Hernandez. Fights like that are really cool when you have two high-level submission artists fighting each other. But overall, the card was aight. If you didn't watch it, you didn't miss much. I guess just go watch Brahimaj and Jacoby's finishes. That's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the fights for anybody who watched them. I wonder how many people were playing Night Rain instead of watching Caitlin Vieira versus Maycee Barber. Then again, that game does have some mixed reviews. I haven't played it yet. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights and the Nightmare Matchups video. Yes, the Nightmare Matchups video is almost done and should be up tomorrow, or today technically, Sunday. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.